Today I'm going to show you a mask tutorial on how to sew your own mask. Many different sizes, but I found this pattern works best for me. And I usually, it says man size. I'm a pretty petite woman, but I usually use that as the typical mask for a woman. And then I used that but created a larger mask for a man or a larger person. So if you take a piece of regular computer paper, and you can either imagine how to make it bigger or get a piece of poster board that you can cut off of. That's what I did. Go about 2.5 or 2 inches down, make a dot there, go about 4 inches down, make another dot, kind of attach these lines, and then let's see, it's about 1 inch, and again that's about 2 inches. Now we're going to connect those dots so you can make your own pattern. Pattern cut out. Now you're going to get some reusable grocery bag fabric. That's what I've found that works really well to filter out extra germs. That's bonded material instead of woven. I'll show you what it is. Plenty of grocery bags. I've used all my reusable grocery bags. So I actually bought this offline, but the bonded material means that it filters out more germs. Cotton is woven, so it does have tiny little holes, but this is the bonded, and it's similar to surgical mask material. We're going to use this inside of 2 pieces of cotton. So I usually make several masks at a time. So this is cotton, this is your reusable fabric in the middle, it's a bag that I cut up, and here's another piece of cotton. And by the end, it'll look something like this. Once I have it pinned down, I'm going to trim the corners off, and we'll have a bunch of pieces to put in the middle of masks. This part you need to be more careful when you cut. So what you need to do first is put your pattern piece on top of folded cotton, just like that. After you've done this a couple times and you're used to it, or if you're comfortable with it, you can fold it again and make several patterns at a time. Several pieces at a time. I folded it again, and I'm gonna have enough for 2 masks. Okay, so you put it in the middle and you're gonna pin it. So I pinned it, and now I'm going to cut. I usually try to leave a little bit of room around the edges so that I can fold it over, and so that you can sew it together and not worry about the mask being too small. So now it's time to take your pins out. Sew these 2 pieces together. You're going to put the pretty sides facing each other. Usually you're going to sew just along from the tip of the nose, where the nose will be, all the way to the bottom. This is a piece that I've already sewn. Usually I like to put a plain color on the inside so that I don't waste all the pretty fabric. Right before you sew, we'll just pretend this one is not sewn, you're going to have 3 pieces for each mask. Well, I guess there's more. I guess you'll have 6 pieces. But 3 parts. You're going to sew this together from here, bottom to top. It's easier, I found, from bottom to top, and then the inner layer. Let's get to sewing. Okay, so you need to make sure you've got your 2 curved pieces together. Remember, this is the inner bonded layer, so it's going to just filter out more germs than the regular cotton. Doesn't have to be perfect. So I find it's easier to start from the bottom, or what will be the bottom. So you just take your time, sew it along the curve. Just as long as they match up. My machine's a little squeaky because I've been using it a lot. There's one done. Put that aside. I've already done my inner layer. And remember, when you're using your pretty fabric, the outside, you want to make sure the pretty pieces are together. And you want to make sure that the sides are matched up. If you really want to get careful with it, you can pin it, but I'm just gonna freestyle. So I start from the bottom, lower the presser. You give it a little bit of room, but as long as they're matched together, it doesn't really matter if it's perfect. I do usually take a minute and match up the pointy nose piece. Alright. And now I'm going to show you how to put them together. So you have your 3 pieces, your inner fabric that's going to go against your face. Make sure you see the edge that is pretty and sewn together. Take your bonded material and just slip it in, match it up. My daughter Lydia is 7 years old and she's recording this. Thank you for helping me.
You're welcome.
Okay, so then you take your pretty fabric and put the pretty sides together. Okay, so you've got bonded inner fabric, outer fabric, okay, but the pretty sides are together. And the most important part is to take the nose pieces and make sure that they are all lined up. Then you're going to pin it. Okay, so now you have the 3 pieces pinned together. So when you're finished, we'll turn them right side out and the bonded fabric will be in the middle. I'll show you where we're going to sew. We're going to start from the nose piece to the outer piece, and then we're going to start again from the nose piece to the outer piece. And that's all you're going to sew for now.
So I guess my mom's just sewing.
Sewing the top. It doesn't have to be perfect. It'll look awesome when it's done. Now, you're going to take it, you're going to turn it right side out. Something like this when you turn it inside out, or right side out. And you want to, you're going to put a pipe cleaner on the inside in between these 2 pieces of fabric in order to get a close fit around the nose. You're going to take a pipe cleaner, you're going to fold it, and you're going to twist the end. You're going to hot glue gun 2 pieces of fabric on each end. I used felt, and then you're going to bend it. It's better to put the nose piece against the bonded fabric and the outer fabric, and you're going to put it right up against the nose, and you're going to kind of fold it up. Doing this one-handed so it looks a little crazy. Then you're going to fold the pretty piece down and sew a little, I guess you're going to sew it into place. Then pipe cleaner. Figure out this part by feeling it. You can feel the pipe cleaner in there. It's all in the top. I'm going to pin it down now. Pin it outside of the pipe cleaner so that the pipe cleaner doesn't move so much while I'm sewing. It's going to look something like this. Once you have the pipe cleaner in there, you're going to start sewing at the edge of the pipe cleaner, a little bit outside of the edge. So probably about where pipe cleaner ends here. I would start right here so you don't get your needle stuck on the pipe cleaner. You're going to start right here. And you're going to, it's a little hard to do this one-handed. You're going to go backwards and sew a couple times so that it doesn't unravel easily. Back and forth a little bit. Now I'm going to lift my presser foot up, turn it around, put it back down. Sew all the way to the end of the pipe cleaner and kind of sew back and forth right there. Come to the end of the pipe cleaner. Gonna lift the presser foot up, put it back down, and sew back and forth a couple times. So you maybe can't see it there, but I sewed it around right here. Here, look at the back. It's not perfect looking, but it definitely does the job. You can form it to your face. Now, you're gonna take the piece.
You could take.
Oh, now I have a 4-year-old on my lap. Gonna turn it inside out like this. You're gonna match up all these pieces together, and you're gonna sew along the bottom part. You're gonna have all 3 edges pinned together, and you're gonna sew from one end all the way down to the other. But you get the idea. Again, as long as these center pieces are together, then you're good. So you've got all 3 pieces sewn together. Always check and make sure I didn't miss a part. And then now you're going to take the needles out and turn it right side out. Right side out by pulling it through the middle. You've got 2 open ends. And that's all you have left besides putting strings or elastic on the edges.
Okay.
You are going to take the edges and fold them inward so that you don't see the rough edges. Just like that. And I think it always helps to pin it. Reusable grocery bag fabric is actually excellent to make a tie out of. It has to be at least 17 inches for both of the top strings and 14 inches for both of the bottom strings. So the top piece is red, the bottom piece is white, and we're just gonna make 1 whole stitch from the top to the bottom and then back again. And usually I go back and forth right here just to reinforce the seam so that it doesn't unravel. You've got both sides sewn up. Everything is pretty good. Now we're just gonna make a pleat so that it fits snugly to the face, because you don't want the germs, you don't want this gaping open because germs are more likely to get in. So usually I measure 1 inch or 1.5 inches. I'm making these for people I've never met, so I'm just eyeballing it, but probably, what is that, maybe 2 inches? 2 inches. So take your little measuring tape, and at that 2 inch, you're gonna fold it, and you can pin it, but you're gonna sew back and forth just along that fold. You always wanna fold the fabric down, because if you fold it up, it can catch the germs. So you're gonna fold it down so you won't catch any of those germs. You're gonna sew from one end to the next, reinforcing each string that you do have, and that way it'll be less likely to break. Even if you measure, you wanna make sure the pleats are at the same spot. So you're going to pinch the nose piece, make it line up, make the top line up, and from there, you're gonna flip it over and align your pleats. It's kind of a 2-hand job for me. So I got them aligned, and now I'm going to keep that pinched, and I'm gonna sew back and forth. Remember, make sure that your fold is down and not up so that you will not catch unwanted germs. This is your finished product. It will fit snugly over the nose and under the chin, and you can tie it to make it as tight as you need. And it's washable.